What is up, everybody? It is your boys with Franchise Tag Fantasy Football back again. There's probably a little bit of delay in this one. I'm just going to go ahead and interrupt that one because for some reason it didn't say we're going live. And then when it started counting, it was like 10. So if we have stupid looks on our face, let us know, please, in the comments. That would be great. As always, guys, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up. How are we doing, boys?
Doing fantastic.
Feels like we
PG,
never
right?
left.
It's crazy. It looks like we're in the same clothes
I
from the
should have
last
put a different
episode.
headband on so it fit the illusion.
Everybody go
Hold on.
change. Go change.
Wait. Distraction.
Oh,
I've got a
Brendan.
different drink. There's that. It was
So,
red
guys,
the last one.
we're doing these back to back because we already had our rankings done. So, there's no what's the word I'm looking for?
Change.
Thank you. We're doing 12-1 right now in this episode of our our way too early wide receiver rankings. There's really no news because, as I said, we're doing them back to back. So you should probably pay attention on Twitter. If not, then follow our Twitter because we'll hit you up with any news and information that you need there. So, boys, as always, you want to jump just straight into it?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
12-1, way too early wide receiver rankings. We're going backwards. First up, I will tell you that we have Chris Olave at number 12. I have Chris Olave at number 13 in my rankings. Brennan, where do you have him?
I have him at 11.
Ray?
I have him at 11 as well.
Ooh, okay. All right. So
He finished as the wide receiver 25 last year with 13.21 points a game. I think a lot of us were, I think we have him here purely because of the fact that his ceiling can be met with Derek Carr as opposed to what it was with Andy Dalton last season.
Mhm.
And so I have him higher than the others that we'll probably name here next. But I think Derek Carr gives him that, that at least minimum of safe floor wide receiver one, but his ceiling can be much higher.
Yeah.
I personally think that I have him maybe slightly lower than I should. And I'm only saying that because Derek Carr just came off of a season where he gave Devontae his best statistical season he's ever had in his career. That's with playing with Aaron Rodgers and getting hyper targeted. So I can see a world where Chris Olave is just on the moon somewhere. I don't like the head injuries. That's what scares me.
Okay. I'd like a word with you too.
So at number 11, guys, number 11, we have Jalen Waddle. He's doing the Waddle in the picture. You had to put it in there. I have Jalen Waddle at number 11.
I have Mr. Waddle at 12.
I got him at 10.
Okay. Dang, right? Top 10 wide receiver for you, huh?
He finished as wide receiver 8 last year and 15.25 points a game. What's there more to say about it? This guy is, I think I could argue he's to a safe blanket. He goes to him a lot more. I know that Tyreek's there, but he drew 23 more targets last season than he did as a rookie. So, and that's obviously opposed to Tyreek Hill. So I'm actually out of, obviously the wide receiver twos of Higgins, Devonta, and himself. I have no problem drafting him where he is.
Yep, I don't either. We talked about this too last year, Ray, where are you taking, and it paid off last year. You're taking Tyreek in the second, or you taking Jalen Waddle in the fourth? And both of us were in agreement. We're taking Jalen Waddle fourth most of the time. And it paid off last year.
Yeah, and I think that you've seen that Jalen Waddle is good enough he is that guy. And look, last season was an outlier for Tyreek Hill's injury history. If you want to talk about injury histories, it was an outlier. He stayed healthy the whole season. So I think that if you have time missed with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle is going to become very, very interesting. Now, he did have himself some injuries last season too. I do believe he had a hamstring midway through the season, about week 4 or 5.
I think he had a hamstring and an ankle at one point.
Yeah, but I'm not worried at all. I love drafting Jalen Waddle. If you can get him in the 4th, back of the 3rd, that's perfect. 2nd is when I'm starting to really think like that might be a little rich for my blood, but that's just how I feel.
Let me ask you guys, could you see him lead the team in yards over Tyreek Hill?
No. If they're both healthy, no.
Not this year, maybe next year.
Okay, what about receptions?
No.
Yes.
I would agree with receptions. I think because he's a receptions king.
He is the intermediate route to Tyreek's long ball, and with Tua back there, the long ball doesn't really
Long ball
excite you
caps
that
out about
much.
48 yards. So
Yeah, that doesn't excite you a whole lot. But I mean,
So-
Tyreek and Jalen both were working underneath routes and whatnot. So I do believe though that Waddle is the receptions leader on this team.
Let me ask you guys from a pure talent standpoint. Obviously, they're all wide receiver twos in their perspective. Who would you rather have as your wide receiver one? Waddle, Devonta Smith, or T. Higgins as your wide receiver?
Waddle.
It's
think
so
about
tough
Higgins.
for me. I would
Wide
say
receiver
Higgins.
one.
Yes, if
Yes.
you had to pick one to be on your team to be your wide receiver one, I think Higgins meets that, but Waddle's really close. Waddle's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
recency
depends on who
bias
your
for
quarterback is.
Waddle.
That to me depends. If your quarterback is Jared Goff, I want T. Higgins. If your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, I want some Waddle. You see what I'm saying? Some guy with a
Okay.
long ball. I want to unlock that part of Waddle's game. But if it's somebody that I need a guy for possessions, guy that's going to go up and get the ball, guy that's going to be bodying people out of the way, T. Higgins is my man. He is the prototypical receiver one.
Fair enough.
All right, at number 10, we're finally cracking the top 10, boys. We have CeeDee Lamb. I have CeeDee Lamb at number 9. Brennan,
I have CeeDee Lamb at 9 as well.
raised at like 14.
13.
I was so close.
Despicable.
That was so close.
You ready, Ray? Let me give you some numbers. He finished as the wide receiver 5 overall last year, and 17.74 points a game.
Okay. I'm
Is there
going
anything
to
else
counter
to follow
that.
it up?
I'm going to counter
Okay.
that with an argument that you gave me
Okay.
about Brandon Cooks and him coming to town.
Okay.
Is he as good as what you said he was? He will absolutely garner more targets than the slew of mediocrity that was around CeeDee Lamb prior to this. I think that kind of eats into CeeDee Lamb's overall ceiling, and that's why I have him at 13.
I don't think necessarily that's the case because obviously Schultz is left too, so there's targets missing there. So I think he takes in those
Don't
Schultz.
sleep on Shoemaker like that.
Okay, well, I'm going to sleep on him. I'm going to go 9 right now, but
Yeah,
I think
I'm going to put my head happily and calmly to bed.
I think we have him lower. I think the other guys we have ahead of him have a super higher ceiling.
Yep.
But I think he's super good, man. I don't know what his yards were last year, but I mean he put up almost 7, it looks like 7 catches a game for 86 yards and with 7 touchdowns in the final 11 games. So I think a healthier season from Prescott combined with the offseason departures of Dalton, Schultz, and Zeke would help Lamb avoid any problem. So
his yards last year were 1359. He averaged 12.7 yards a catch with 9 touchdowns.
yes,
107 receptions.
CeeDee's. I think CeeDee's elite. I think CeeDee's in that elite category of wide receivers.
I agree. I don't think he finishes as high as he did last year. I do still have him obviously top 10 at 9 for me. But it's just because, yeah, Brandon Cooks is coming to town. But as Ray mentioned, there's just they had a slew of no names trying to catch last year, and Michael Gallup didn't bounce back to what everyone thought he was going to bounce back to. So I do still have CeeDee Lamb being the definitive target share leader in that offense. Y'all guys ready for number 9?
I am.
Number 9 is Ray's boy, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He does love
Sun
this
God.
guy, the sun god himself. So I have Amon-Ra. Sorry, go ahead.
Good. I have him at 10. I was about to say. Sorry.
I have him at 10 as well.
I got him at 9.
You got him at 9.
Respectively.
So 2022, he had 106 receptions for 1,161 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Finished as a wide receiver 7 with 16.73 points a game. So, I mean, he won people leagues, by the way. This dude was drafted, I think, around 6, 7 last year. And so, elite production out of him.
Yep.
He was drafted in round 4 for us, Aaron.
Yeah, because Ray took him because Ray knew what he wanted. I mean, if you've got your guy, I mean, I'm not opposed to reaching a little bit, but you took a gamble. It worked out for you, but it didn't work out for you a whole lot.
And I think with the Jameson Williams suspension too, I think we have him here a little bit higher because that's obviously 6 games without another wide receiver 2. I know Jahmyr Gibbs comes into play, but this dude's
don't let the Sam Laporta and the Jahmyr Gibbs hype get you way down on Amon-Ra. He's still gonna be just like CeeDee. He's still gonna be the target share leader. These guys that we're talking about in the top 12, They are the target share leaders and the number ones on their team for a reason.
Yeah,
He's an 8 to 10 target
Minus
a week.
Jalen Waddle.
8 to 10 targets a week is about what I would average Aman Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, and if you get an 8 for 90 in one touchdown game, you're good.
Yeah, he easily can. He's gonna always. I think his like floor will always be like 100 receptions. I think he's just got that floor because he's just so good and so talented.
Yep. All right, we good on that one?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 8, we have A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown finished 2022 season with 88 receptions for 1,496 yards, almost 1,500 yards receiving, and 11 touchdowns. This is Ray's number 1 true baby boy.
He's been replaced
by Garrett Wilson.
Whoa, take it easy. Let's not unveil the curtain just yet.
I'm not trying to unveil the curtain, but it's your love for Aaron Rodgers. I get it.
So he finished as wide receiver 6.
Go ahead.
Yeah, wide receiver 6 and 17.62 points per game. But I'll let you talk, Aaron or Ray. This is your guy. So
with those numbers you're talking about, 1,500 yards. The dude was an alpha, number 1, real deal, the best after catch receiver in the league.
The crazy part is it was 88 it was sub 100 receptions.
He was hurt for 3 of those games. He was hurt. He wasn't going to play in 3 of those games.
He's the truth.
When I tell you,
I was glad he was traded.
Had he just been drafted by a different team, he would be Jay Jettas right now in everybody's dynasty league.
Yeah, that's fair. I took him over Devontae Adams in the best ball. Brennan called me ballsy.
I thought it was pretty ballsy.
That is ballsy. I don't know about all that. That's ballsy.
I know, but
the only
Devonta's good. That's the only reason why is that Devonta's good. Tay has always been in a situation where there has just been nothing around him.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's right there again. Nothing's around him.
No, I agree.
He's going to have 120 goddamn receptions. He's going to have 1,400 yards, and he's most likely going to have double-digit
Jimmy G.
Why not? Why not?
So.
My only real drawback with A.J. Brown from a fantasy standpoint is that he probably won't quite match the volume incurred by other receivers of his caliber, instead relying on his big plays and frequent red zone trips to make another wide receiver one production. I think he falls this year. I think he hit his ceiling last year with the amount of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Touchdowns, yes, but I don't think that was his ceiling yet.
I think the receptions go back.
I could see him fall out of I can see him not be a top 10 fantasy wide receiver this year.
Oh, I hear a beer bet coming on.
I'll take one right now.
I'll call my shot. I'll call my shot right now. I'll say that there is a bigger possibility of him not being a top 10 wide receiver this year.
So A.J. Brown, wide receiver 11 or worse, Brennan wins. A.J. Brown, wide receiver 10 or better, Ray wins. Do we have a beer bet?
I'll agree to that.
Absolutely. I would take that every day and twice on Sunday.
Write it down, boyos. All right. So that's a great one to end on. At number 7 in our consensus rankings, we have number 17, the new 1-7 for Aaron Rodgers. In New York, we have Garrett Wilson. He finished his rookie year with quarterback carousels of Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Mike White, with 83 receptions for 1,103 yards and only 4 touchdowns. I'm willing to bet that the touchdowns go up probably by at least double this year.
Yeah, he was wide receiver 21 with 12.69 points a game with those quarterbacks at play. I think he's arguably the best wide receiver in that 2022 draft class. I don't think you can make arguments for other ones, but I think, in my opinion, I'd have him as my number 1 over Olave, Drake London, and who's the other? Who am I forgetting?
To be fair, his rookie year, he had 147 targets.
Treylon Burks.
Thank you. And then there's Jahan Dotson too. But I think we all have him here because his ceiling can be met because Aaron Rodgers is going to come in and solidify the quarterback for the Jets. And we've seen what Aaron Rodgers can do with a wide receiver 1. Obviously, you guys know more than that because you guys have had him for most of your lives.
Yes, because if it was not Devontae Adams, it was not anybody. If it was not Jordy Nelson, to be fair, Jordy Nelson, those few years he had James Jones and Randall Cobb. Those were the great years.
We didn't even talk about where you guys have him.
Oh, I have Garrett Wilson at 7.
I have Garrett Wilson at 7 as well.
I want to move him up to 4.
Where do you have him
6.
currently? Okay. You
I
want to
wanna
move him up to 4?
4.
We'll see who you have at 5
I
and
want to swap him and
6.
who's at 4 right now.
Okay.
Who's at 4 for you, Tyreek? We'll get into it later.
Wait.
We'll get
till
there.
we
We'll
We'll
get
get there. But yes, I do agree that Garrett Wilson, especially after winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, can just take. I see him as Justin Jefferson light, where he can just take that step and be there.
I don't see him as light at all.
That's fair.
I think
I don't
he's going
see
to be
him as
someone's
light
getting the.
anything.
Yeah, he's like a 25% shareholder in targets. I think I could see him having like 1,300 yards, double-digit touchdowns. I think he can be an elite.
So he's Devontae Adams of the New York Jets.
Before we move on to the next guy, I just want to ask you guys, how many times throughout your fantasy football playing careers, and this is for people that are still listening right now, how many times were you like, man, I wish they would go get Larry Fitzgerald a quarterback? Man, I really wish they would go get Andre Johnson a quarterback. Man, I really wish Calvin Johnson would have had somebody better than Matt Stafford. God damn it. This is it right now.
Stafford's a Super Bowl champ, bro.
Yeah, I guess he is now with a better team around him. But let's talk about right now. This is what we're looking at. This is what we're staring right down at.
Dude,
Garrett Wilson has a chance.
you just
to
love
be
Aaron Rodgers, don't
something
you?
special. I love Garrett Wilson.
I like
Loved
Aaron
him so much.
Rodgers.
I held on to him all last season.
There's some
even
of
through
there's
Zach Wilson.
there's some
Wow,
of our
I don't want to
friends
hear it.
that-
You two are going to cheer for the Jets if they're in the playoffs and the Packers aren't. I know you two will. So
Yeah,
I will
want
for
Rodgers
sure.
to win another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I want him to shut up all the stupid Packer fans, I think that we should have got rid of him.
No, I just want him to win another one. I mean, look, he wins another one. I mean, we drafted 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, or we didn't draft 2 Hall of Fame. We obtained or drafted 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. That's something that very few teams in the league
And
have ever
that's the
done.
problem with most Packers fans our age and a little younger is they don't understand how hard it is to find a starting quarterback in the NFL because they've been so spoiled. So
because you end up in a QB carousel like us.
because when Jordan Love, if he can go 7-10 this year, and Rodgers goes to the playoffs with the Jets and they advance for the first time in how many years, everyone's like, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, man, shut up! You want to get rid of Rodgers anyway, so who cares? Anyways, we're on a tangent. Number 6 for us, Stefan Diggs is at number 6. Stefan Diggs is at number 6 for me in my rankings. Brennan,
I believe I have him at 5.
I got him at 5 as well. And this is where I would like to just swap Garrett Wilson and Stefan Diggs.
okay. He had 154 targets last year with 108 receptions, 1,429 yards, and 11 touchdowns.
He finishes the wide receiver 4 with almost 19 points a game.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Super
So
impressive.
the 3 years in Buffalo, he's averaged 112 catches, almost 1,400 yards, and 9 touchdowns with the Bills offense. So he's got that safe floor. I have him in this, like, he's the last guy in that like top tier with the other guys that are going to be mentioned ahead of him. I have him as like that last tier drop
Yeah.
because he's just
That's
so
where I have him
safe.
as well.
I
He's
agree.
just so safe. I think you can't go wrong with him when you draft him. You know you're going to get out of him. He's just consistent. I know he's turning 30 in November, but it doesn't matter. He's shown no signs of slowing down. He's still the number 1 in Buffalo. Don't care they drafted Dalton Kincaid. Josh Allen looks for him and looks for
It
him.
only helps.
Yeah. Because Gabe Davis is not the wide receiver 2 they thought he was going to be.
No, it'll be Khalil Shakir. But I think that, you're getting the most safe receiver 1 that you're going to draft, honestly. He hasn't had a slew of injuries. He has a mind meld with Josh Allen. He has a huge timeshare of that offense. If you wanted to take the safe bet and you missed out on Jay Jettis or Jamar Chase, I think that Stefan Diggs is the move.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, he's pretty safe. He's gonna average double-digit targets every game. He's got that 25% share hold in that target. So I have no problems drafting him anytime.
I don't either. Number 5, Devontae frickin' Adams. We were talking about him. I have him at 5. Brennan,
I have him at 6.
Ray.
4.
Devontae, first year with the Raiders last year, didn't miss a beat. 180 targets for 100 receptions,
It's so crazy.
1,516 yards, 14 touchdowns. The 14 touchdowns are the second most in his career in a season.
Wide receiver 3 and almost 20 points a game.
Yeah. 180 targets.
It's just so crazy. He's just, I mean, he didn't miss a beat. He went from obviously Rodgers to Carr. Obviously, went from one Hall of Fame quarterback to another Hall of Fame quarterback, as he said. But
I like how you put as he said.
it's not my words, his words. But I think again, I have him here, and I would have him higher. I am just really, really worried with Jimmy G. Can never say his last name, but yeah,
Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. Jimmy G, when he had Michael Crabtree, Jimmy G, when he's had a guy that he really liked, if Devontae is that guy, he hyper targets him. When I say he gets 120 targets or 120 receptions, I don't think I'm off. I think that's pretty spot on.
He's been averaging
he could
over
get.
120 receptions.
I think he
Yeah,
could
but
get
it's a new
120
quarterback.
receptions.
Yeah, new quarterback though. I think he's going to be. I think obviously he's going to be number one. No doubt about it. There's no. They got rid of Darren Waller. They did sign Jacoby Myers, but again, he's part of that elite category. He just shows it every time.
I agree. Ain't no one's sniffing his gym socks. If we're being honest. Next up, boys, number 4, I have Cooper Kupp. I have Cooper Kupp in my rankings at number 3.
I had him at 3 as well.
Ray?
I got Cooper Kupp at 7.
Oh my goodness, what do you think is going to happen?
7.
So Cooper Kupp last year, obviously he got injured. He only played 9 total games. He had 98 targets, 75 receptions, 812 yards and 6 touchdowns. But before he was injured, he was on pace to beat his Triple Crown record of the year previous.
Yeah, when he played, he averaged 22 points a game in fantasy. And he finished as wide receiver 23, even with getting injured when he did. So pretty impressive.
Super impressive.
Ray, why is he so low for you? Let's ask you that, because obviously me and Aaron have him right on the same.
It's not that I hate Cooper Kupp. It's not that I think that he's going to do anything negatively to put himself there. I just think that there are better receivers than him in better situations with better target shares than Cooper Kupp right now. And that's why he's at 7. He finishes there. If everybody stays healthy, he finishes there because he has more talent in front of him.
You just said that I don't think there's hardly any more talented wide receivers than Cooper Kupp. I think he's shown it. He's had the same level of competition. He finished as a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, I think he's really slept on.
And you said there's better situations. He is the only one in Los Angeles.
They just got rid of Allen Robinson. Yeah, I think he's going to be the only guy they go to the entire year. I think I have him here. I think I've seen him pretty low in some cases. Let me see here. I've seen him his best rankings have him at 10. His worst is at 24. So
that far. That's slanderous. And when you're saying these, so the way I have it broke down is in this tier 2, Cooper Kupp is in a tier 2 for me. And I don't believe that he outscores Garrett Wilson or Stefan Diggs.
Cooper Kupp's my last wide receiver in tier 1, and I do believe he outscores them.
I do not believe that. That's why he's at 7.
So you really shouldn't move Garrett Wilson up to 4.
That's why I really do believe Garrett Wilson will be in that tier 1 category at the end of this season.
I think the Rams are going to not be a good team this year, so I think they'll be down a lot. They'll throw a lot, and I think no matter what, even if they were still up, they're still going to give the ball to Cooper Kupp. The dude is just talented. The dude always gets open. He finds the soft spots and coverages. I don't know. I'm a big believer in Cooper Kupp.
Him and Matt Stafford have the mind meld. I don't know how it happened, but they're on the same page when they play.
They eat breakfast together. They have same cereal.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Do they spoon feed each other?
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if
It doesn't have to go that far. That's too far. That's getting weird.
They wrap their arms.
I don't know. I can see myself drafting him in quite a bit of leagues if he falls, because I play to win, and I think he can still be a Triple Crown. He has that mentality.
I agree. I know Ray doesn't, but number 3 in our rankings is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill finished last year with. Oh, excuse me. I have Tyreek Hill at 4.
I have Tyreek Hill at 4 as well.
I have Tyreek Hill at 2.
All right.
Holy.
So let's raise stuff here. He played 17 games. He played a full season last year, as Ray said. He had 170 targets, so 10 less than Devontae, but 119 receptions. So obviously he caught 19 more balls than Devontae. He had 1,710 yards. So what is that? 200 more yards than Devontae as well. And 7 touchdowns. So half the touchdowns Devontae had.
Wide receiver 2 and 20 points a game, basically.
Yep. Just to put into kind of perspective of where we were harping on his 180 targets. He had 170, 119, 17, 10, and 7, like I said.
It's crazy how much he fell in perspective. So, like when he was with Patrick Mahomes, he was round 1, right? Everyone can agree with that. He was selected in the first round. In both my big money leagues, he was taken in the second round, and I was one of them taking in the second round. I shit y'all not. I literally contemplated between him and Michael Pittman last year, which is crazy to think about now in perspective. Well, because obviously I was super high on Michael Pittman with Matt Ryan. I thought he could help him out, but yeah, it's crazy like how much he shut us up. He's just talented. That doesn't matter. He wasn't. He's QB proof.
Had less touchdowns, right? Like his highest career high in touchdowns is 15.
Yeah.
But year before in Kansas he had 9, but everything else was his highest statistical category pretty much, except for yards per reception and touchdowns as far as his career goes with Miami. You bump those touchdowns. You bump those touchdowns up by 3 and give him 10. Like you're like, oh my God. Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Miami last season was doing a lot of weird shit in the end zone. A lot of weird shit in the red zone. I think that gets kind of corrected this season.
I agree. I also think that last year when teams took away the middle of the field, they just kind of shut down. So I think that gets corrected as well. But yeah,
that could be a Tua problem though.
It could be, but I think both Miami receivers are going to be good this year.
Yeah. I don't disagree. For fantasy purposes, look, we both saw.
Just don't draft both of them to the same team.
I mean, you would have been. You could have. I mean, dude, they put up. They were both wide receiver 1, so. I remember that Baltimore game, dude. They had like both put up like 30 plus points each and went crazy like that.
Yeah. I remember the pain.
Yeah. But you also don't want Miami's offense to take a stink one week and it cost you. All right. All right, boys. Number 2. At number 2, we have Jamar Chase. I think you guys obviously knew he was going to be in the top 2 when we got there. 2020 stat lines. He played 12 games. Obviously missed with the hip injury. 134 targets, 87 receptions, 1,046 yards, and 9 receiving touchdowns. I have Jamar Chase at 2.
I have him at 2 as well.
I have him at 3.
Okay.
He finishes wide receiver 12. Oh, sorry.
I know that I took Jamar Chase in our hypothetical last week, like who I would take. I was just trying to be the outlier. I would really take Justin Jefferson if I had to, but like I wanted to be the outlier. Somebody has to talk about Jamar Chase.
You can't play devil's advocate to play devil's advocate.
I had to do it. That's the whole point of playing devil's advocate. What are you talking about? It's the whole thing.
It is fair. That's fair.
He finished as wide receiver 12 with missing games, obviously, and he had 18.57 points a game. So again, still elite numbers across the board. So it's just so crazy. He's one of the smoothest route runners and has slightly less target competition. So it's crazy. I safe bet. You can't go wrong with him. You can say anything you want. This is a safe bet.
The only thing that kind of worries me about Jamar Chase, and this is a very slight worry, and it's just because we got to fill a little time here, really, but is that he does have a slight injury history, but I'm not worried. Not worried at all.
We can see how the hip plays out.
Yeah, not worried at all.
To see there. All right.
I do like though that I do like that, obviously him and Justin Jefferson came from the same college and are obviously going to be competing against each other for who's that one. And obviously Chase was the bona fide one. And it's Justin Jefferson obviously now, but I think it's just pretty impressive though.
Wait till we're talking about Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave next season.
Oh my God.
Just wait.
Just wait till we talk about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wait till we're talking about JSN too in this category.
Jesus,
because he'll be somewhere in this list.
Watch CJ Stroud be a bust. All right, number 1, we have the man himself, Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson. I have him at 1. Brennan, you have him at 1. Ray, you have him at 1.
Yep.
Let's not even bullshit around the bullshitters. Last year in 2022, he played all 17 games. He had 184 targets, 128 receptions, 1,809 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He averaged 106.4 yards a game.
Crazy.
Receptions and yards, career highs, along with yards a game average.
Finishes the wide receiver 1, obviously, in fantasy with 21.69 points a game. Just so crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, look, Eric Stokes in the picture just getting burnt for a touchdown. How's that feel, Ray? I think you were at that game.
I was at that game. That was week 1, and
He had like
that's because
169 yards receiving.
Jair didn't follow him.
Oh,
Let me ask you guys, because we can just sit here and talk about him because he's just so great. But
he is great.
Would you guys agree the higher upside of a running back getting 2,000 yards or him getting 2,000 yards?
Him getting 2,000 yards.
There's no running back you think. Just any running back. You pick one running back compared to Justin Jefferson getting 2,000 yards.
The only other running back that I would have ever picked getting 2,000 yards would have been prime Adrian Peterson, who played for the same team.
Okay, but I'm talking about right now.
Yards?
I'm talking about right now. There's a running back right now who could match him getting 2,000 yards.
Total or just rushing?
Rushing.
No one.
No. I can't see it right now. If you said total, Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. So would people be crazy to take him 101 overall in their fantasy leagues?
No.
Do it.
I mean, Cooper Kupp was doing that last year after he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Do it.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid.
I think at pick 101, who do you guys have at pick 101? We've done running backs and now who's your 101 right now?
Redraft?
Yes.
It would probably be CMC. I'm still taking the gamble with Kyle Shanahan.
Ray, what about you?
Bijan.
Bijan's your 101 right now?
Bijan.
Oh my goodness.
I am all in. I'm all in.
So I could see people going 3 to 4 picks here at their 101, and I wouldn't be mad at them. Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Jay Jettas, Jamar Chase.
Yes, I agree. I don't know about Eckler, but I think Jamar Chase, Jefferson, and CMC. I can see him at pick 101 for big money leagues.
Yep, I could.
Yeah,
and if it's a big money league, I'm taking Jay Jettas at number 1.
Oh yeah. Oh, if that's what it is, you're talking about like if I have receivers involved, it's Jay Jettas.
3 years, 3 constant years of steadily getting better, 3 years of not missing a game. Like the most receiving yards for any NFL player in their career for through the first 3 years of their career. Like he's the pinnacle of what you would want. Now,
what you were asking was just specifically running backs. If you're asking me to draft a running back 101, if I have to draft a running back 101, it's Bijan. I'm taking it for sure. I'm taking a chance. Why not? We've seen what we got with Christian McCaffrey. What if Bijan's got something better?
Fair.
It's fair. I did see hype videos of him on Twitter, one hand snagging balls in the air in the corner.
I saw it too, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm all. Here's all of my shit.
He jumped up, caught a 360, and landed. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, oh man.
And Ray is in. Ray is all in.
We found where it is, boys. We found it.
Oh my goodness.
So, but yeah, I mean, to me,
it's crazy how like the landscape has changed with wide receivers. Because obviously, when I started playing, running backs all were like the first rounder. Now it's wide receivers are now starting to creep into that.
Yep, it's weird because
when you started playing, Grandpa, that's when running backs all got 80 plus shares of the backfield.
That is true.
This is true.
But
my first pick was Frank Gore ever in fantasy.
Man.
Frank the Tank.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's how old I am. All right, leave me alone.
Listen,
dude, mine was Ladanian, so I'm there.
Okay.
So, but it's weird because the running back dead zone that we used to have of rounds 3-4, where you didn't want any of those guys, now it's like, dude, I'm getting Najee Harris in the 5th.
No.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's pretty far.
Najee Harris in the 4th. Like,
I would say if you would have said Jahmyr Gibbs in the 3rd, I'd have been like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I mean, that's true. That's where they're going, because I'm trying to think of all the running. But you're getting Saquon at the middle of the 2nd.
Now you're getting rid of the 5.
So
yeah, I think Saquon's still like I think I have him high, but he's third, like pick 103 for me. So
Let me look at my running back. So you're getting Jonathan Taylor, or Bijan back in the first. You're getting Jacobs in the late second, early third. Chubb in the late second, early third. Pollard in the late second, early third. Brees Hall middle second to mid third. Derrick Henry's in there. Stevenson's in there. Najee's in there. Aaron Jones is in there. Like these running back dead zones that we used to think of, that was like David Montgomery and all of these other teams on the bottom echelon of like 20 through 30. You're not getting that anymore. You're getting the first 15 wide receivers in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, because it's just such a safe floor, because obviously it's now a throwing game, and now quarterbacks are creeping up in the rankings too, which I used to. Now I hate. I've seen.
I can't stand it.
I'm so upset because I used to always get
late
top 5
quarterback anymore.
Yep, you got to get the top 5, top 6 guys.
Yeah, late quarterback.
We'll talk about next time, which will be quarterback rankings.
So, guys, we're in the talks of, if you guys want to see it, we want to know what you guys want. So if you guys want to see it next time, let us know in the comments of this one. Send us an email. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know. We're thinking about doing a hot takes episode where we just give you guys like the Tabasco, the Frank's Red Hot. We just like sprinkle it, on our takes and then just serve them up hot and fresh to you guys. But
I already gave you a couple.
Yeah, it's Ray's known for at least 4 a year. So until then, guys, as always, please be sure to let us know what you think in the comments of the video. Smash the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know anytime we drop new content. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, follow us on
TikTok,
Facebook, join the Discord.
Social media.
Every social media platform out there, but most importantly, please subscribe. But until later, we'll see you next time.